Disclaimer: I am just a humble Genshin Impact fan. I do not own any of the rights to Genshin Impact, or any of the content within it, such as the lore books. Those specifically belong to Hoyoverse. What I do have, however, are friends with things like learning disabilities, such as dyslexia and ADHD, or very little free time, making reading the lore books either in-game or on wiki pages hard for them. Our solution to these problems has been for me to make these recordings so that they can listen to them and still get to enjoy Genshin lore like the rest of us. I have chosen to upload these recordings to YouTube as a way of sharing them with other fans within the community who might be in similar situations. I am admittedly no voice actress, trained narrator, or video editor, but I have tried my best, so please be gentle with me. Therefore, without further ado, let's get into today's story. Meadow of Gems. This scroll, which seems to be part of a larger series, belongs to the Jade Chamber's invaluable collection of written works. This volume is a dissertation on Liyue Harbor's economic policy. Location 1. A temporary copy can be obtained during the world quest, Return of the Jade Chamber. Location 2. A permanent copy found in the Jade Chamber. Commerce and trade, like springs and streams, begin with the mountains and end with the seas. The penchant of people is to pursue profit, and when people turn their means to profitable ends, wealth is created. To possess means is to possess power, and to curb the unjust excess of power, we restrain it with contracts to guide all things to prosper together. The strong should not bully the weak, nor should trade and commerce allow the river of gold to flow unimpeded along its natural course. This is the just and upright way. Some say, there are those who lose their jobs and have no reliable source of food, nor a roof over their heads. They toil in vain in their barren fields. All the while the wealthy merchants' residences flow with gold and jade. What justice and uprightness is this? This question is devoid of insight. Like the waves that face off against the golden sands of the shoreline, the pursuit of profit topples much of what stands in its way, and like the rapids that run in the valleys, it is unrelenting. Thus those in poverty will not stay poor forever, just as the wealthy shall not hold on to their riches for eternity, but the treasury must always be filled for the nation to remain peaceful and prosperous. Hence, it is the proper way of things to issue prohibition, expand the economy, and reform the government. It is easy to succumb to complacency in the matter of aid, but this must not become the trend and should be curtailed. The millilith should be expanded to pacify unrest, both the bandits at our borders and the citizens who reside within them. Though Rex Lapis enjoys immortality, mortals require provisions and preparation to be free of worry. This grand plan charts the course that will lead us slowly, but surely, to Liyue's longevity and the people's prosperity. The task of reform is one that should be undertaken with patience. We cannot make rash demands, lest we overlook other concerns. Just as one who carves by candlelight patiently waits for the jade to take shape, so will it take time for the myriad affairs of Liyue to be gradually settled. Other information. This book was added to the Jade Chamber's interior in version 1.2, while access to the Jade Chamber itself, alongside the quest involving its destruction, was released in version 1.1. Because of this, many players had already destroyed the Jade Chamber by the time this book was added, making the area inaccessible and therefore making the permanent version of this book unobtainable. When version 2.4 was released and introduced a new Archon quest that restored the Jade Chamber, this book was made accessible again for players facing this issue. Depending on when the player picks up the book in the Jade Chamber, the fate of the original book faces a paradox. If the player picked the book up after its reconstruction during the Crane Returns on the Wind and has done the world quest Return of the Jade Chamber, it can be assumed that it is the copy that was ordered from Chinzhou as a replacement, while the original was indeed lost during the first Jade Chamber's destruction. If the player picked the book up in the Jade Chamber before its destruction during the Turning Point quest, it can be assumed that the permanent copy owned by the player is the original. It is then deemed missing by the Jade Chamber staff after the destruction, seemingly not knowing of the traveller's borrowing. A copy is ordered from Chinzhou even though the player also has the original in their inventory the whole time. This second scenario makes it possible for players to have 2 copies of this book present in their inventory at the same time. Specifically, during the quest Return of the Jade Chamber, where both the supposed original and new copy are transported by the player. If the player did not pick up the book before the first Jade Chamber was destroyed, but picked it up in the rebuilt second one before doing the Return of the Jade Chamber quest, then this means that the copy available there is neither the lost original or the newly ordered copy. Instead, it is a third obtained through unknown means and unacknowledged by the Jade Chamber staff, since they ask you to retrieve a copy of the book even though there is currently one present in the Jade Chamber, at least until the Traveler picks it up. Other names. Sources. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Ad Astra Abyssosque.